What's up, YouTube? How you guys doing? Welcome back to another one. All right, so we're not gonna stop talking about Sephiroth until this man is in our hands. Okay, I want to be playing my joystick, my controller. Awkward. Anyways, I cannot wait for this character to come out. Like, he just looks perfect. He looks amazing. He is the hypest announcement that we have received yet in Smash Brothers. I am saying this right now, no cap. All right. Anyways, let's just get on with this. Be sure to check out my reaction on Sakurai's showcase of Sephiroth this Thursday, 5 p.m. EST. You can check out the links in the description down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content. It really helps support this channel. And don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And with that being said, let's just go on with the show. All right, so I just wanted to quickly glance over the skins that Sephiroth has in this game. Actually, he's based off his Advent Children outfit specifically. In my opinion, it's the nicest one. It's really good. So as you can see here, his outfit colors are actually based off the Shinra rankings, the Shinra Corp, which is the evil organization that both Cloud and Sephiroth used to work for. And then you have this color over here, which I don't know where it's from, but it looks great. And this one as well is part of Shinra, but it looks beautiful. Oh, I love it. And then we have this outfit. So the outfit actually originates from the original Final Fantasy VII boss battle, which actually never shows up in any other Final Fantasy. So it's really cool that Sakurai really paid attention to the detail in that one. And then obviously the second outfit over here is just changing colors based off the Shinra color. Nothing too crazy with the outfits. So next up, I actually wanted to go over the trailer over here, which is really interesting because we actually got to see a lot of information that's really juicy and potentially could lead to very exciting things. So first exciting thing that we have to talk about is the destruction of Galeem. Look at this. He just sliced Galeem like he was nothing. Okay, this is nothing for Sephiroth. Okay, he's too badass for Galeem. Okay, this just tells me that maybe, just maybe, like in the Kingdom Hearts series, we can see Sephiroth actually as like a side boss battle or something. And now onto his movesets. So over here we see his beautiful character model and then his F tilt, because he did that very effortlessly. I think that's his F tilt. And over here you can see the little shine and he holds it with two hands and becomes his F smash. I actually have supporting evidence of this later on in the video, so stick around. And then over here, I think this is his side B because it clanks just like Corrin's side B, and then he could jump right off of it as well. And we're going to see another instance where he uses that side B as well. And then we have his reflector over here. This is actually Reflega or Reflector in Final Fantasy. Basically, it usually reflects projectiles, and in this case, it actually can act as a counter. So kind of like Palutena's, I'm guessing, because it has a whole huge field to it, indicating that it does both projectiles and acts as a counter. And in this case, you could see Sephiroth actually uses a magic attack to counter. And then we have his up air, which is just beautifully cinematic over here, cutting through the stage. But what I'm worried about, it looks more to be like, because the angle of the camera in this case is telling us that it's more vertical instead of horizontal. We'll have to see when Sakurai demonstrates it, but that's a bit of a worry. It's supposed to cover long range, right? I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one why he would make it vertical instead of horizontal. And then we're shown his taunt. And then this over here, I believe, is his neutral B. So this is actually Shadow Flare. We're going to cover a lot more into this on why I think it's Shadow Flare specifically after the fact that we see his meaty up smash over here. God damn, better than Ike's. And then you can see over here, either Link's arrow activates it or Sephiroth activates it himself. We're going to actually cover why I think it's the latter more once we get to the really in-depth analysis from where these moves come from. Then we have this stage over here, which is basically an FD with platforms on the side more instead of inside, kind of like the variation to Battlefield and FD being small battlefield, right? So this is really a great addition. This looks like it could be actually a legal stage. Then over here we see his down air sequence, which is also covering the fact that he kills Aerith. And then over here, what's really interesting, so we have all these moves hitting Sephiroth as he's backstepping or backdashing, right? So why this is interesting is because Crom's Fair actually does 9% damage and he did not flinch. What does this mean? Maybe he has super armor for total invincibility, or he has a certain percentage that will actually break through to actually flinch him, right? So it's really interesting, and I love that they added that. And then we have his one-winged angel mode. This is really interesting because we could see here, remember the side B that we talked about earlier? Now the problem is, I don't know if it's really side B or something else, because we could see over here it does Octaslash. So maybe this is up B, the other one side B, or vice versa. We don't know. So remember that Shadow Flare that we discussed earlier? Yeah, this is his actually true form that we usually see it in Final Fantasy. This seems to me like it's just a charged neutral B. And then another thing that we got to see was actually Cloud's Omni Slash being version number 5, specifically against Sephiroth over here. And in slow motion, it just looks so beautiful, basically taking all his different blades over here and just like, wow, unbelievable that they paid attention to that as well. Same one as in Advent Children, by the way. And then why I think his final smash isn't going to be the Shadow Flare is because of this instance over here where you have the .png a la Byleth. So why this is interesting is because of the fact that on Nintendo's website, actually, you see this image over here, which covers the fact that like it's probably a final smash. When you have multiple characters there, it's usually a final smash. As a Final Fantasy fan and a Kingdom Hearts fan, I completely forgot about the fact that Sephiroth only shows up in Kingdom Hearts as a 3D model fighter, right? And that's the only way that Sakurai could have actually taken his assets and put them into Smash, right? Because in your typical RPG fashion, it's usually turn-based. You see the fights going back and forth. Also, there's Final Fantasy VII Remake, but there's not enough in Final Fantasy VII Remake to get all the movesets that we need, right? And also, unfortunately, I didn't really get to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't want to spoil it for myself, but I'm guessing that's where he gets the stabbing motion on the ground and some of those moves in general. But I do know Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 very, very well, and I remember the boss fights. And so I was looking back at the boss fights and I saw in Kingdom Hearts 1, we actually get to see 2 moves in general. First one being F tilt over here. We could see he uses one hand quick slash right there. Typically found as a jab in this game, but then we have the F smash over here, which is really interesting. So we got to see those 2 moves. Everything else he keeps doing, like these pillar flames, all that nonsense that just causes so much damage and he just spams it. For Kingdom Hearts 2, we actually see a lot more information. So this is where we get to see actually his jab sequence. 1, 2, 3. I actually think that's his jab sequence right here. In general, I don't think he will continue on the 4 and 5 hits because that's Kingdom Hearts specific, but I am willing to bet that this is going to be his jab sequence because he actually does jab sequences in this game right here. He also has Octa Slash in here, which he does in a different way, but we already saw Octa Slash in the regular trailer, right? So that's definitely not going to be shown. And then right here, we actually see, I think that's going to be his up tilt because it was so smooth the way he did it. It looks like it should be an up smash, but we already know in the trailer that his up smash was just a full-on swing that just covers more range than Ike's. It's really scary. But anyways, and then over here, we actually see that he does aerial jabs, which is really interesting. So he actually does a 3-hit, 4-hit sequence in the jab sequence. So would it be possible that when he goes into one-winged angel form that he does aerial jabs? That is pretty freaking awesome and also kind of broken, but it's not an unrealistic expectation because Bayonetta can do aerial jabs, as you know, and she could do multiple times. Now, remember the shadow flares that I was talking about? Look what we have here. 3, albeit giant orbs following Sora, and then multiple ones like in the final shadow flare sequence that we talked about showing up to attack Sora. So that was truly Kingdom Hearts inspired. And on top of that, they are smaller, I believe, because in Final Fantasy XIV, they actually have small shadow flare orbs along with the big flare animations showing up. So I think they were inspired by those. I'm not sure, maybe Final Fantasy VII Remake has that move showing. I'm being honest, I don't know. But we also see something very interesting later on. We can actually see here that Sephiroth activated the shadow flare orbs to attack Sora at will. Now, this is interesting, okay? Because in Final Fantasy XIV, I think the flare effects wear off after like 30 seconds or something. That's a bit long for Smash. I don't know how long Sakurai will do it, but I'm imagining maybe kind of like Cloud limit, maybe 10-15 seconds. I'm not too sure, to be honest, on this one, but damn, if you can activate it personally instead of what I had originally assumed where the arrow activates it, that's amazing neutral mix-up. That just leaves them opportunities to mess up, and that's really good for neutral mix-ups. And last but not least, the only relevant information that I could find in here is his dash attack. He just does a little spin over here. It's honestly the only time where he dashes an attack, right? So like that's the only thing that I can imagine that Sakurai can take as a dash attack from Kingdom Hearts. Maybe he has his own way of looking at it. Maybe he'll just do a forward slash, just a horizontal one instead of a spin. But if he wanted to stay true and knowing Sakurai, he does take a lot of hints from other games. I think it would be from this in specific. Now, this still leaves me a little hopeful for Sora because this clearly means Sakurai is watching Kingdom Hearts very, very closely because he's taking moves from the Kingdom Hearts series specifically. So I don't know, guys. We'll see what happens. yeah, I hope you guys are just as excited as I am because, man, this character is going to be so hype. How it always is, everybody's going to use the character at the beginning, and we're going to see how the meta develops for him. It's really exciting, but be sure, again, to check out my stream this Thursday to check out the showcase from Sakurai himself. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Peace out.